Good morning. So I wanted to do like an official introduction of our new animal, and there's no secret on any other social media if you follow me. We got a new horse. My pigs hear me coming. I just want to take you. My dogs practically run me over every time I open that door. But before we go meet our new horse, that's who I'm going to take you to see. I wanted to take you out. I wanted to come out here really fast and check on the peacocks because we left our windows open last night because we got down to the high 80s and it was actually really nice and cool yesterday. Daisy. Keep an eye on my dogs. And last night was actually pretty cool, but I wanted to check on my peacock because I can hear him, I don't know, making his call. Daisy! Daisy! The dogs have met our new horse. They've gone out there a few times. He doesn't seem bothered by them at all, which I think is making the dogs a little bit calmer around him. They actually seem to be more interested in his poop than anything. Oh my goodness. Hello, Tiny. Hello. Someone's nudging me the whole time I'm talking. Anyways, let's check on our peacock friends. Hey, sir. I can hear you super loud. So we knew that the peacocks were going to be pretty loud, especially this guy, when he's trying to call over other peacock friends. They're still very sketchy. They do not like human interaction at all. Like, she's a little bit more mellow, but even then she'll run for me. But this guy over here, he just he's just super duper sketchy and does not like humans. So I know with birds it's kind of hard to it's kind of hard if you don't raise them from when they're babies to kind of earn that trust. So I don't know that we'll ever be able to hold him or get close to him, but I do plan on breeding them and then raising up a couple on my own that maybe I can get a little closer to. Like I said, she's super sketchy too. So anyways, I heard him screaming and screaming. I could hear him from my window, and I think he's just trying to find some new lady friends. Can I come through, please? Thank you. The pigs have just been dying to get into that coop. Especially this girl. Hello, Penelope. Hello. Hey. We still have Darla and we still have Tiny, you guys. I'm having the darndest time trying to find them homes. Okay, so now that I checked on them, make sure everything was good, I'm gonna come out here and check on our new horsey friend and do like an official introduction for you guys. And let me see where my dogs went. Where did my dogs go? They're running around here somewhere. Oh, they're eating horse poop. Didn't know dogs had a craving for horse poop. But anyways, here he is, you guys. This is Trigger. Trigger, say hi. Say hi. Wanna say hi to the camera? He's like, nope. Hey, get, pirate, get. I don't want him getting too close and getting a little too comfortable in there. I don't know. I don't know why dogs like the poop, but anyways, so this is Trigger. So we got him from a local horse rescue. It's about 30 minutes away from us into like the town over. And he wasn't really neglected, other than you could tell he's kind of a hard keeper because he's really skinny. So we're just trying to fatten him up. He's actually doing pretty good filling out. You could hardly see his ribs, but you can still see them. And we're trying to work on that top line right there, which is actually doing really good because he was a little bony on top there. But so we did get him from a rescue, and I guess she had him, and then he was there with another herd mate because his previous owners apparently got a divorce and neither one of them were able to take on the horses. So we ended up adopting him and brought him home. We trimmed up his mane and his tail because his tail was super long and his mane was down to here. So my husband trimmed that out. And then he just saw the farrier 2 days ago, came and trimmed his hooves. So he's all primped and pretty. I actually did my first ride with him yesterday. So as I was saying, I did my first ride with him, like lone ride. We did do a test ride before we bought him yesterday, and I just kind of walked him around like our round pen right there. And it was actually quite nice. He's pretty easygoing. He saddles nice, like we can tack him up with no problem. He stands for the farrier pretty good. When I did the vet check with him, he did pretty good for the vet, like didn't have any issues. So he's a pretty mellow horse, and he is 9 years old, gelding. We were told that he was an Andalusian quarter horse mix. I don't know if that's true. I do kind of plan on doing in the future like one of those DNA tests where you take like a sample of their hair and send it in, and it kind of tells you what breed of horse they have in them. The farrier came out, and because I guess he's 16 hands, he's pretty big. I kind of wanted to get a 15-hand horse because if you guys didn't know, I'm kind of short. So I was kind of hoping for a 15-hand horse, but we ended up with 16-hand, so he's pretty good. Anyways, so our farrier said, you know what, he looks like a thoroughbred because he's so big. And I was like, oh, yes, he is a big, big boy. But anyways, he's finishing up his breakfast. The only problem that we're having is that we noticed that he's like throwing a bunch of his hay on the floor. It's not that he's like dropping it out of his mouth, so I don't think it's a teeth issue, but I don't know. As you can see, he just makes the biggest mess, just tossing it all over the floor. It's because he likes to push around the alfalfa and look for all those little tiny bits. He prefers the little crunched up kind as opposed to all of this. Sir, look at all this mess. Look what you did. Look what you did. You just made a huge mess. It's rude. That's rude, sir. Rude. Pirate. So I'm down here with my dog, and Mr. Trigger is super nosy. But he is such a good boy, you guys. Like I'd mentioned, if you saw my previous videos, like this is our first horse. Never owned a horse before. Our first time. So we needed a beginner safe horse, and the lady was pretty good, and she only had 2, and he was definitely one of them. And she recommended him, and I have to say I'm not disappointed. So he's pretty good. Other than his size is very intimidating. I was super intimidated with this boy. The first week I kind of had to take my time. I'm gonna move over here. As I was mentioning, I had to kind of get out of the wind. It's a little windy. Like I said, it's every time we get down to drop cooler temperatures, along brings the wind. But he is pretty good. He is an easy keep. Well, he's kind of a hard keeper. Like I said, we're trying to fatten him up a little bit. We're kind of trying to figure out his diet a little bit. We've changed hay a couple times because originally she had recommended 2 different kinds of hay. He did absolutely hated the first hay, which was like a 3-way, very thick, starchy hay, which he did not appreciate at all, which I don't blame him. It kind of looks like straw, like something you put as bedding. And then alfalfa. Now, I give my goats a 2-way, which is basically like an orchard grass and alfalfa mix. Some seasons it's more grass than alfalfa. I think like right now it's more grass than alfalfa. Towards the winter months it gets to be a little bit more alfalfa in it, but I give that to my goats because I want my goats to have a lot of grass, because as you can tell, we're in the desert, if you guys didn't know. So we cannot just like let them on the pasture. We don't have a pasture. I would love to have a pasture, but I don't know that I would, if it's worth the upkeep of like throwing seed and like growing like some sort of pasture for these animals. I think it would be ideal and awesome, but I just don't know that if it's worth the time or money. So instead, we have to purchase a good quality grass hay, and that's what we do. So I have been giving that to Trigger as well. I've been giving him like a flake of alfalfa and a flake of the orchard grass hay, which he still prefers alfalfa. So talking to a few other horse people, they said that you can just totally give him alfalfa and he's fine. And he actually appreciates it. He loves alfalfa. So we're just kind of trying to work on him, just keeping his food clean. I don't know if you noticed, I probably should have showed you when I was over there, but those barrels that my husband cut out to make I don't know, troughs, feeders, we had to kind of like reconfigure that because we had him up higher and the hole wasn't quite as big. So he would stick his head in, pull the hay out, and the hay would just go everywhere. I think because he was a little spooked about having his head into the barrel. So my husband cut open the barrel a little bit wider so that he's able to stick his full head in and without touching it at all, and kind of be able to look up a little bit and not have to be freaked out, because, you know, when they have their head down, they're prey animals, so they tend to feel a little bit more, you know, Daisy, come here, come here. They feel more secure if they're able to see. And then we put it lower to the ground, which he actually tends to keep it, most of it, most of his hay he keeps into the barrel more than when it was higher. So take that in consideration if you guys are considering putting some of these barrels up. Keep them lower to the ground because it makes less mess, and I think the horses appreciate it more because they, you know, out in the wild, especially if they're out on pasture, they're constantly with their head down eating. So that's kind of what it is right now. I'm keeping an eye on my dog because even though Daisy, even though, like I said, my dogs have been out here a few times. Well, the two pit bulls, my German Shepherd, my old dog, he is so senile, you guys. He came out here, so he hasn't seen him yet. He came out here, pretty much walked right next to his pet. Daisy! Daisy! Go check on them. She gets a little excited. She's the one I worry about the most. But anyways, as I was saying, my old dog came out here, walked past him, totally didn't even see him. As soon as he got back over here by the house, the horse made like a noise, and then he was like, what? And started barking. Poor thing. He is like almost, I think he's 16. He's 16 years old, you guys. He's an old man, so I don't bring him out here too often because, you know, being a senile old dog, you kind of just don't really know. Hey, buddy. Finishing up your breakfast? Yeah, he's a good boy. Oh, he's such a good boy. Out. Come on. Get out. Get out. These dogs just want to be in there with him. Come on, Daisy. Let's go inside. Let's go. Come on. Daisy, let's go. Let's go. Come on, let's go. Come on, let's go. Like I said, she's my little worry one that I always worry about because she's so bad sometimes. Let's go. Goodness, I hear you from across the yard. What do you want, sir? Rocky is so loud, you guys. And then this guy has been peeing on himself like crazy. I hear you. I hear you. Okay, I had to come into the buck pen really fast because as you can, I don't know if you can hear him. I know I can hear him. But Rocky is super loud. I can hear him all the way across the yard. He just has to have attention. So I always have to come in here and say hi to the boys. As you can tell, he's jumping on me right now. Say hi. Hi. So with Rocky, he's not as friendly, even though he likes to jump on and say hi. He's kind of rude. Rambo's a little bit more easygoing and mellow than Rocky. Rocky just, I don't know, he has a different personality. But he says hi if I come in here by myself. But I wanted to come in here and give you guys an update on the goats. So you guys know that my goal has always been to breed my goats. They're registered. We had a little hiccup with Summer and just having her, you know, contract, or she had a disease that I didn't really want to breed into my herd. You guys know how that turned out. Luckily for us, we were able to get her a new home. What do you want though, man? What's up? He keeps jumping on me. Come here. Come here. So anyways, I just want to give you guys an update because Rambo is like, he can smell Roslyn like crazy. He is just, I'm gonna come down here and say hi. He can smell Roslyn because Roslyn was in heat and he was just going crazy. Now Rambo lived with the girls for a few months and never really showed interest. He would jump on them a little bit. I think Rocky, even though he's like 4 or 5 months younger, he was jumping on the girls way more than Rambo was. But Rocky never fully extended, so I never really thought too much of it. I decided to separate them because, like I said, Rocky's just a little bit more annoying, jumping on the girls. So I kept him over here, and I think doing that kind of, I don't know, it made Rambo a little bit more interested in them. So now he just sits here pretty much crying and, you know, wanting to be with the girls. So I actually a few days ago, decided to put him in there because I could tell Roslyn was in heat. And he tried to get at her like crazy. And I kind of just let it happen. I really didn't want to breed them right now because I believe they're pregnant for 5 months. So if they did breed, Roslyn would be having babies in January, which is kind of a horrible month, I think, anywhere to have babies. Our winters are maybe not as crazy as somewhere back east. But, you know, it is cold. And it would probably be the worst month to have babies. So I was kind of just another reason why I moved the boys in here, because I just wanted to keep the breeding. I wanted to have control of the breeding. I didn't want them to just be bred willy-nilly. I wanted to make sure, oh my God, he's jumping on me. I wanted to make sure I knew, since I have 2 boys that are intact, who the dad was, because, you know, I feel like sometimes I think that's an issue right now, especially with the registration company. A lot of people are claiming that the dads are not the dads that the owners say that they are. So that is my main reason. He just cannot leave me alone. What's up, dude? Come here. See, then when I give him attention, he walks away from me. I don't think he knows what he wants. But anyways, so I marked the calendar because I did see Rambo try to breed Roslyn. Now, again, this is my first time trying to breed, so I don't know for sure like the behavior, because he kept going at it. I've seen other people say like as soon as they show no interest, she's bred. From what I saw, she was bred, but he kept trying. And then I separated him. I brought him back in here at the night, and then the next day he was still crying and hollering and trying to get to her. So I don't know if that means that she's still in heat and that it wasn't a successful breed, which I'm okay with, again, because I'm not positive I want to have babies in January. But at this point, I just figured I've waited so long. I've had so many hiccups with, you know, some of my goats dying, having to get rid of some, trying to, you know, create my herd, because I envision this beautiful, just beautiful Nigerian dwarf herd, you know. I've selected my goats very carefully, which, you know, again, I've had a hiccup with, you know, not doing the research, but now I know. So I'm a little bit more cautious of what I'm purchasing and what I'm looking for when I buy my next goat. And I did want to start breeding them because I probably will keep a doe from each of the girls, and then that way I can breed them to the opposite buck. What's up, Rambo? But, you know, I will be purchasing like maybe a couple more does in the future. I just decided to wait because I knew that we were going to get Trigger, our horse, and I knew that was going to take up a lot of our time, and it was very intimidating, I'm not going to lie, for her first time horse owner. I felt like we were prepared. We bought all the tack, we bought all the supplies, we read all the books, we watched all the videos, and it was still like, oh, what do we do? Like, what if he kicks me? What if he does this? And again, it's just, you just got to jump in there. If it's in your heart to be a horse owner, just do it. He's super, super sweet horse. I feel like we got super lucky. The only thing that worries me now is because we do want to get another horse so that we can trail right together. Me and my husband, or my husband and my son can go trailing, maybe eventually get a third horse, but I think we're good for now with one. We do want to get another one because if you didn't know, horses are herd animals and they just feel safer in numbers, just like any other herd animal like goats or pigs. And they just are happier when they have a companion. So that's the only thing that worries me, though, is because if we get another horse, are they going to live up to being as sweet as this boy is? Because he's been super sweet and such a good boy and super patient with us. I have been doing a lot of groundwork with him, trying to get him to move his feet, walk around, just exercise him. And I did all that for like 2 weeks before I actually jumped on him yesterday. And I just felt like that was kind of good that you do that. And I did read lots of things telling me to do that first before you decide to jump on them, because you kind of get a feel for your horse better when you do that. He has a better feel for you and your commands, and I definitely felt more comfortable jumping on him as opposed to bringing him home and then jumping on him the next day without even having any clue as what this horse is about. And again, this is just coming from a beginner standpoint, because I'm sure if there's more experienced horse owners out there, they can kind of tell if a horse is okay to jump on or not. So with that being said, I just wanted to show you guys, you know, a little update on the farm, and then just introduce you guys to our new horse, because like I said, he's super sweet, and I wanted to do this intro a little different, but I kind of ran out of time. I am working now. I'm back at work. Summer's over, so I am going to get ready and go back to work today, and then, you know, see what it is, and hopefully you guys see more future videos of Trigger and just kind of like us learning from him and vice versa. So until next time, come here, Rambo. Say hi to the camera. Say hi. Hi. He's over here talking. I'll see you guys later. Bye.